On a typical day, when people are caught up in their routines, rushing to work and trying to make ends meet, some are lucky enough to live better than others, eating good food, living in big houses, and showing off fancy cars.
That guy's too lucky, man. Look at us. Fresh graduates with bright futures and no clear path.
We'll get there one day, relax. Like my grandfather always said, better life, better days.
Yeah. You've been saying that since we were 5. First, it was your grandfather, and now you're keeping the tradition alive.
After finishing their drinks, they set off again, wandering through the city looking for jobs. As day turned into night, the desert city transformed into a dazzling paradise of lights, the towering buildings glowing around them.
Whoa, check out this building. It's massive.
Relax. People are staring at us. Don't act like we're country bumpkins fresh off the boat in Dubai.
This place is incredible. The Dubai Mall, the open-air restaurants. Oh, I want to eat at that steakhouse for sure.
Will you cut it out?
A few people glanced their way, and she looked down, blushing while Angelo laughed. Angelo and Velvet parted ways for the evening. Velvet headed straight home, while Angelo decided to stop by the supermarket for some food and drinks. Velvet's apartment was a cozy studio, everything within easy reach. At her height, it suited her perfectly. She turned on the TV to fill the space with some background noise, then settled onto her small sofa with a cold beer from the fridge.
Oh, that's better. Alone at last. I really need to budget better. I don't make enough to splurge.
As she sipped her drink, she noticed a news broadcast showing footage of volcanoes erupting simultaneously around the world and reports of hundreds of dead fish washing up on shores in multiple countries.
My goodness, what's happening? This is terrible.
She switched to another channel, only to find more bad news. People were growing more adamant about the urgency of climate change. Feeling overwhelmed, she decided to finish her drink and prepare for a bath. Just as she was about to relax, her phone rang.
Oh.
Hey, I found some amazing ribs. Want me to bring them over tomorrow and cook them for you?
Really? Bring them tomorrow. I'm turning in early tonight.
Wait, are you in the shower right now?
Yeah, so get off the phone already.
Velvet laughed, cutting the call. In the middle of the night, the unthinkable happened. The world as we knew it suddenly changed. Animals, once small enough to fit in your palm, grew into monstrous sizes. Creatures like tigers and lions stood on 2 legs, their muscles bulging as they roared death into the air. Gates appeared out of nowhere, and ancient temples rose from the ground, unleashing hordes of terrifying creatures upon the world. Major cities, including where Angelo and Velvet lived, would not survive the night. Angelo was still awake when it all began. Panic surged through him, but all he could think about was saving Velvet. He bolted out of his apartment, dodging wrecked cars and monsters that were tearing through the streets.
Damn, that was close. What the hell is going on?
Angelo shouted, his breath heavy as he sprinted through the chaos, every step feeling like death was nipping at his heels. He spotted a garbage bin and dove behind it, catching his breath and scanning the path ahead. He tried calling Velvet again, but she didn't answer. His heart raced with fear.
Be safe. Please be safe.
On his right, he noticed a car he could use to escape, but he knew the noise might attract more monsters.
What do I do? Think, man, think.
He approached the car, but it was locked. Frustrated, he slipped around to the other side, hoping to stay out of sight from the 2 goblin-like creatures prowling nearby. They were small, fierce, with primitive features and green skin. Heart-pounding, Angelo moved slowly, each step calculated to avoid making noise. Sweat dripped down his face as he carefully passed the goblins, praying they wouldn't notice him. But then, the goblins caught his scent and turned, their eyes locking on him. Just as they started to charge, a burst of gunfire rang out. Police arrived, shooting the goblins down. The distraction gave Angelo a chance to slip away. Breathing heavily, he pressed himself against the side of a building, relieved he had survived another close call.
There's no time to rest.
He reminded himself, forcing his legs to move again. He had to keep going. He had to reach Velvet. As he climbed the stairs in her building, he could hear the chaos all around, people crying, doors left open in panic, death already making its rounds. His stomach twisted with fear, but he kept moving. At last, he reached her floor. Room 809.
Thank God, most of the upper floors are safe. Please be safe.
He stood in front of the door, his heart pounding harder than ever.